I understand businesses need to protect themselves. I get that, I respect that, but I think that stylists need to be aware of what they're signing, and I think that stylists also need to understand that they have so much more power, especially together in a group. You guys have so much more power than you think, and the reason that the non-competes are being so strongly enforced and that the radius is getting bigger and bigger is because of the way the industry is turning, and commission salons feel that it is their only tool to fight with to keep stylists where they are. But to me, as a businesswoman and as an employee of people, if my only tool to keep my employees in place was to threaten them, if you leave, you can't, you're really not going to have a career unless you're here with me, so you better stay with me, that would be a terrible culture, as you said. It would create a terrible environment. So I think there are other creative ways that commission salons need to think of to not tie stylists down where they don't want to be. Between what's happening now, and I'm not just saying this selfishly for my business, because our business is growing regardless. Salon suites are booming. So that's the way the industry is turning. But I think it's a shame to cause such negative environments in salons for people when they are ready to make that change. There has to be something else. There has to be something else. And I think if we could get together with some of the big salon guys and find a way, I think we could work something out. The whole idea in the beginning of all of this, take the business out of it. The reason we started these companies is because we want stylists to be able to do well and to be successful. We both want the same thing. There's just different avenues. But I think there's some compromise to be made. It's going to have to eventually. What they're doing isn't working. And the tighter and tighter salons get, it's just pushing people further out the door. And if not, it's causing really negative environments inside their salons, which they don't want either. We're both big Gary Vee fans and advocates, and Gary Vee says eat shit for a couple years and you'll eat caviar for the rest of your life. And so you've got to make those hard decisions sometimes up front that don't seem fair, but looking at the big picture, this is what I need to do to get where I want to be. So eat shit to eat caviar, eventually.
I don't know if I would go that.
That far, I would. I'll eat shit for a couple years to eat caviar for the rest of my life. I'm eating shit right now, but I will eat caviar one day. We sold our house in order to expand our business. We're living in a rental house right now, and it's a much smaller house than we're used to. It doesn't feel like home. We've always lived in a place that we called home. And it's interesting now, our oldest daughter, Tori, will have lived half her life in this rental home, and by the time we move into our next home, she will have lived the majority of her life in this rental home. We have been in very, very uncomfortable situations. I've been shopping at Walmart when I didn't know if my credit card was going to go through. Not that long ago. That freaking sucks. But we're doing everything that we need to do to get where we want to be next. Taking everything out of our business. We're pouring everything into our business, everything into our people right now. Will it be that way one day? No. Will I be scared to swipe a credit card at Walmart 2 years from now, a year from now? Right now, we're doing good. I have to say we're doing good, but we're still eating shit in a lot of ways. There's so many layers to it, but you have to be willing to be uncomfortable to get where you want to be. You have to be willing to sell your house if you need to, if you want to grow your business. Don't cry to me that you can't do anything if you haven't given up anything. I sold my house. I sold my home, the home that we built to raise our family in. We knew there was a bigger home, a different home. We knew there was something coming in the future, but we sold that house to grow our business. We had faith that that money was going to do bigger things. We were planting seeds. So we ate shit, and we're eating shit in a beautiful rental home. Do not get me wrong, but we're making sacrifices now, and we're living like nobody lives right now so that we can live like nobody lives. Our family, I don't think, understands why we're working the way that we are. I think Steven's parents think we're a little crazy. I think they do, and I think a lot of people think we're a little crazy, and that we don't have the balance that we need to have. But I'm eating shit right now. Let me eat my shit so I can share my caviar with you later. Think about immigrants, people who come over here who sleep with 10 people to a house, sleep on a floor, and start a business, a donut shop, and they sleep on the floor of that donut shop. There's so much opportunity here that we don't understand, and 2017, the way our business is going to grow this year, I've said it, this is the first time that I've been a little bit afraid of what's happening, just because before I didn't know what I didn't know, and now I know a little bit of what I don't know that I still don't know, and so I'm a little bit afraid, but I know that it's going to be so worth it, and it's 1 year. Who knows, maybe 2018 will be just as scary and just as stressful, but I know that I'm going to be working crazy hours. I know that things are going to be super stressful, but right now in my mind, it's for 1 year. I can do anything for 1 year. The way that I am in my mind, if I can wrap my mind around something, I can handle anything. If you told me you need to sleep in a cardboard box for the next year, I might take a punch to the gut for a second, but then I would find a way to find my freaking happiness, and it would be the prettiest cardboard box you've ever seen. I would make my happiness in that. So I think you have to have the mindset, like, wrap your head around whatever it is that you're sacrificing, whatever it is that you're leaning into for whatever period of time, and eat shit. And eat shit with a smile on your face, and know that it's only for a certain period of time. We will be eating caviar.